whole discussion of the best edge rushers is that we've gotten away from what makes a good classic defensive end. A defensive end is a player that can take on the offensive tackle and then, if need be, hold the gap against the offensive tackle, stop the off tackle run, and pursue the sweep so that the running back is chased out of bounds and doesn't go beyond the line of scrimmage. That's what you're asking a great defensive end to do. There's a lot of confusion between an edge rusher and a defensive end. Let me explain that. First of all, the craziness of this has a 6'2" player. I'm not going to name names among the top ranked edge rushers. As far as I'm concerned, the only defensive ends, but edge rushers. And these players are of such size that, look, they really should be playing free safety or strong safety. You consider how they're built physically. It's 6'2", all right? This is nonsense, absolute nonsense. So, for example, when we talk about edge rushers, um, there's a 6'4" gentleman from Clemson, I believe Malachi, who first name, who has actually better numbers than some of his other contemporaries who ranked higher. And then I saw his video, and this guy is being asked to stand up rather than get down and use leverage from his body. So he's all kinds of out of position, and he's playing the strong side. I wouldn't put him there. I would put him on the weak side with his height. I would go in and he'd give an offensive tackle fits, and then with those long arms, he could reach out and get the quarterback faster rather than having to fight off a tight end. Not that he can't do it. It just makes no sense. Absolutely no sense whatsoever. So size matters, even today. I know a lot of people are tied up with strength. I'm not saying that a 6'2" linebacker isn't effective, because I think of the great Hugh Green out of Pittsburgh, who made hay in college and then, of course, the NFL. But given the choice between a 6'2", a 6'4" guy, and I'm talking about outside linebacker who can rush, I'm going to put on the weak side in either case, because strong side linebacker, I want someone who can really hold the run first and also go up against the tight end. So I'm thinking about somebody that's 6'3", who can really be a great cover guy against the tight end. If I need, as far as the responsibilities of stopping the run on the edge, I'm leaving that to a defensive end. In other words, I'm playing a four-man front. I'm playing an even front. I'm varying it, how I look in it with respect to whether or not I want to have four linebackers, but I want that edge pressure, and I want it to be constant. That's my philosophy. Maybe you have yours. Love to hear what you have to say about this, and which player you think is the best. I think I've given you kind of a tip-off clue without naming names, who I'm not very high on. And if I got this person, I wouldn't put him on the strong side. I'd put him on the weak side at 6'2", and then give him some help with the defensive end. There you go. All right. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark NFL News by Zenny62.com.